It is time to transform my Talaria Sting R into the ultimate off-road machine. Today we're going to be installing some brand new Warp 9 18 and 21 inch wheels. They're going to match my decal kit. They're going to be sick, and I'm going to have way more traction out on the trail. I'm also going to be installing these brand new 250 mil Rip'n Moto rotors that are going to go with my TRP DHR Evo brakes like we talked about a couple weeks ago in our brake video. This is our top tier brake spec. I am super excited to see how these brakes do with the huge heavy wheels and the heavy tires. Let's get these put on. Alex is going to be installing my rear wheel, and I'm going to talk about why I specifically went with the 18-21 inch wheel size over some other options that people like to run, such as 19 in the front and a smaller 16 in the rear. The main reason being I'm 6'3" and I have really long legs. I like to stand up when I ride when I can, and I borrowed a buddy's 21 and I absolutely loved it. I loved being able to stand up high on the bike, not having the front feel like it was way down low, and I really liked it for going downhill. I also wanted a huge tire in the back, which you can do with a 16, but I tried that as well, and I just feel like it was a little too playful. I'm a little too tall for it. So we might have a 16-19 setup coming to the channel in the future, but for me, I loved the 21 up front. Pairing it with the 18 with the huge tire in the back, I think is gonna be super, super fun. So look at that setup. Look how big that is. I mean, look at that compared to that.
There's a difference.
It's a monster. Okay, this is a Shinko 241, 2.75 inch. This is a Dunlop MX33 90 by 100 18. So when it comes to picking tires for your 18-21 inch setup, there is not a ton of options. So I went to Charge Cycle Works. They have a super cool tire weight chart on their website. You can go find it and you can figure out the weights of all the tires that they've tried and tested, the tires that they recommend. So go check that out. There will be a link in the description. That's where I purchased these tires. And then for the front, we went also with a Dunlop MX33. This is a rare tire to find as well. This is a 70 by 100 by 21 in the front. Usually they come in an 80 wide and all 21s. I was able to find a 70, trying to keep the weight a little bit down towards the front, but I think it's gonna work well. So I picked these wheels up from Warp 9. They have a custom wheel builder on their website. I chose the Nardo Gray rim and went with the magnesium hub. So it's kind of a bronze magnesium hub and nipples, and then I chose black spokes. So that's the custom wheels I built up. We did the same in the rear, and I think they're gonna match really, really nicely to my Sticker Effects graphics kit. I love gray, it's my favorite color. I think it's gonna blend really nice. Even if I do another graphics kit in the future, the odds of it having gray are really high, so these wheels are gonna match. I also went with a Warp 9 58 tooth rear sprocket. I went bigger again. Currently I'm running a 54, but I wanted that extra torque with this big, heavy tire setup. But go hit up Warp 9. They will build you all kinds of custom wheels for your Surron or Talaria, or even your dirt bike, your supermoto, whatever you need. They can build it for you, and they are beautiful, beautiful wheels. I'm really excited to run the huge rotors, but one downside is you can no longer run a rear rotor guard like this Warp 9 one I've been running on my 220 rotor. They just don't make any in the 250 size, but we do have this Rip'n Moto rotor adapter, so this is what our brake caliper will actually hook onto and go on there so that we can run this massive rotor on there. We're gonna have ultimate stopping power. Alex, are you getting that chain off?
Yep.
Good job.
Whenever the chain's greasy, we just buy a new one because we're putting this black Amazon one on there. It's like $13.
We are running the black chain. I think it'll look super sick, and we're gonna have to cut it to length for our 58. So it is starting to look so good. Look how big that tire is. Holy crap. We got the black chain on. I think it looks awesome with the black chain. Nardo gray wheels, huge 250 mil rotors. We're getting our brakes lined up. We even got the front on as well. We didn't film a ton of the install process because it's kind of hands-on and a pain, and I'm sure you guys have seen it before. But we got the Rip'n Moto 250 mil adapters put on front and back so you can run these huge rotors. I got to go get my brakes bedded into these rotors specifically, do some nice simple stops, and then we're gonna be good to go. One thing you also have to do when you install brand new wheels that have never been ridden before on a Talaria or Surron is you actually have to tension all the spokes periodically over the first couple times that you ride it. So Warp 9 gives you this handy little sheet telling you all the ride sessions you have to do, and then the actual tension that you're supposed to torque all of your spokes to after each ride session. So we got the handy dandy Warp 9 calibrated spoke tension tool. So we're gonna be able to, why are you laughing at me, Reed?
It's just funny.
It's just funny. Anyway, this is gonna make it super simple to tension all these spokes. You basically have to go around the wheel 3 whole times, doing every 3rd spoke so that it tensions evenly. You have to do that front and back, and you have to do it like 3 times. You have to go like 20-minute ride, tension it, another 20-minute ride, tension it, so on and so forth. And that will ensure that your wheels stay true and strong and last as long as they can. You guys have seen the little montage of the 2118s installed on my Talaria Sting R, but now it's time to ride them. We couldn't just make a video installing them. We got to actually put them to the test, see how they feel out on these rough, rocky Utah trails. So I am up here on a trail that I ride quite frequently. It is known for being really steep up and even steeper coming back down. So we're gonna be able to test the 2118, which I love for going downhill. I love to be able to stand up even though I'm really tall. And we're also gonna be testing these brakes. This trail is notorious for smoking brakes, like getting brakes so hot that you can actually smell them. We rode this a couple weeks ago on my TRPs, but without the 250 mil rotors. So we're gonna try it again today, back to back, and we're gonna see how they do with the huge rotors and all the extra rolling weight that these tires add. I also want to say one thing real quick. So I'm running a stock Sting R battery. I do have a KO Nano controller, so I'm pulling a little bit more from the battery. It is not bypassed, and I still have a ton of power. Even with these heavy tires and wheels, it still feels like a Sting R. Me and Alex and Reed did a couple of drag races while I was breaking the wheels in and torquing them before this ride, and I'm neck and neck with their stock Sting Rs with light tires. So I have a little bit of extra power with the KO Nano, and basically the weight of the tires kind of cancels that out. And now I'm about the same as a Sting R, and it is still plenty of power for any trail riding. So those of you that don't want to spend the extra money on a battery, but want to get some big heavy tires and wheels, I think it's going to work just fine for you. Those of you on a Talaria Sting MX3 with 6 kilowatts or a Surron Light BX with 6 kilowatts, 2118 is a power trap. If you get 2118 with big tires, you are going to want more power. I think the 8 kilowatts or the 8.7 that I'm running with the KO Nano is just fine, but those of you running 6, it is not going to be fast enough, so just keep that in mind. If you're gonna go 2118 on those bikes, you're gonna need a controller and battery at some point. You can do it, but you're gonna want one later, I promise. Okay, we're gonna head out on this trail. I'm just gonna insert as many clips of the rolling over the rocky sections, the really gnarly downhill. I think it's gonna be a blast. Let's hit it. Well, I am really enjoying this wheel set. I mean, just the tires alone, just the sheer amount of grip is just insane compared to stock. It just gives you so much more confidence. You can have a lot more fun. So I can just rip over all these huge rock sections and the rocky trail. I would have loved to have this the other day when we rode that Ben Lomond trail. My tire just has so much grip. Ugh. And my front just rolls over everything. I mean, I know this doesn't look very steep on camera, but I mean, we're just going up, wheeling over stuff, ripping. And I still got tons of power. I'm not even near full. I just don't want to spray rocks everywhere. Oh yeah. One thing to mention is, even though I have enough power, I am finding myself using more power because the wheels are so heavy and tires are so heavy, and so my battery is draining faster than I'm used to. So that's something just to keep in mind, but I think it's worth it. This thing is so fun. Like, it is not this easy to go up all this stuff. All right, we're gonna turn around now. We're gonna ride down this ridge that we just came up, see how our brakes do. It really cooks brakes around here. I'm excited to try this 21 going down, because that's half the reason I bought it. Because I'm so tall and I felt like the front end was just pointed down so much. This part's so rocky. If you guys are not interested in 18-21 size, that's fine. That's just my personal preference, and we'll be testing a pair of 16 and 19-inch wheels from Warp 9 eventually. I think Reed's gonna order that size. So you guys will have to stay tuned for that video. If that's the size you think you'd be interested in, we'll see how it compares. Let's see if our brakes fade. Last time I was here with the TRPs, I did get some brake fade, getting close to the section where we usually stop and let our brakes cool. Oh. This is a heavy bike to try to slow down. Oh, I love this 21 on these drops. I feel like I'm not just dropping into some hole where it's gonna suck my tire in. Woo! Yeah, I love all these drops. This is awesome. So far my brakes are doing good. It may not look steep, but it takes everything that these brakes have got to hang on. Oh. All right. All right, this is where we stop and let our brakes cool. I'll have to check them out. I can smell them just a bit. All right, we let our brakes cool for just a minute. Let's keep going. This place just keeps going down fast. Oh, that was a big drop, yeah. Well, I really appreciate you guys watching. I think this was a fun video. 1821s are awesome. The huge tires are a huge upgrade from stock. The only downside is I'm gonna have to force myself to ride less road because I'm just gonna destroy these tires and they're expensive. But with that, guys, if you guys have any questions about this setup, about the rotors, anything about Talaria, drop a comment. We'll be sure to answer them. And if you like this video, subscribe. We gotta grow this channel. We're having a ton of fun doing it. We got lots more exciting videos on the way. We got some fun stuff planned out and some more future upgrades. We got a big upgrade dropping today coming from FedEx. So you guys will have to stay tuned for that video. We'll catch you guys next video. See ya.